Here's how it works, and this is what I think is so powerful. When a Coinbase user sends their Bitcoin from Coinbase to an address on Base or Ethereum, the Bitcoin will automatically be converted 1-to-1. All right, crypto nerds, since today is September 18th and the Fed at 2 o'clock Eastern time is going to talk about the rate cuts, instead of talking about buying and selling crypto today, I thought I'd talk about my second favorite topic, which is, well, that would be myself. My third favorite topic, which is debanking. I think there's a huge opportunity to get ahead of the curve when it comes to being your own bank. I've got videos on this, and things are going to be changing rapidly all the time. Here's the newest change. Again, big dumb animal, don't do what I do. That's my disclaimer. We're going to talk about really quickly Coinbase, because they're coming out with the Coinbase BTC, essentially their version of wrapped Bitcoin. Then we're going to talk about the current WBTC and some of the things that have changed recently, and then why I believe the Coinbase one is going to be so incredibly powerful and it's exciting. So if you've been following my debanking videos, I'm primarily using as collateral Ethereum. It has one of the better loan to value ratios. You can also, of course, if you're not using it as collateral, you can receive a yield. I think there's a lot of value there. I just like Ethereum in general. So Coinbase came out with their wrapped Bitcoin. Here you can see what it is. They've got a great explanation, real simple. Coinbase is rolling out their cbBTC, Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, an ERC20 token that is backed 1-to-1 by Bitcoin held at Coinbase. At launch, which has already been launched because this was on the 12th, it's available now. It's going to be supported on, of course, Base, which is the Coinbase's network, and Ethereum, and they said they have plans to roll out on more chains. Okay, so let's talk about that, and let's talk about wrapped Bitcoin. So first off, wrapped Bitcoin is on the Ethereum ERC20. It's been around for quite a while. It allows Bitcoin holders to participate in decentralized finance, right? Because you're not able to do that with Bitcoin, so you need to wrap it, ERC20, get it on the Ethereum network, and then you can utilize it in decentralized finance applications in many different ways, of course, even like when we're talking about debanking and using it as collateral for lending. Now, how exactly does it work? Well, each wrapped Bitcoin, let's call it WBTC, because that's the symbol, is 1-to-1 backed by Bitcoin. Essentially, you will mint a WBTC and it will be backed by 1 Bitcoin. And then you can do the opposite and you can redeem it. So at the moment, BitGo holds the reserves, and we'll talk about that change right now that's happening. The proof of reserves, that's done on chain, so it's fully transparent. Minting and redeeming goes through merchants and custodians. So essentially you could say, well, yes, it's on chain, but it's also centralized because BitGo is the custodian for the Bitcoin. BitGo announcement where they said, hey, we're pleased to announce the move of WBTC to custody via unique partnership with joint venture Bit Global. It'll happen 60 days from today. That was August 9th. So that should be October 9th. And there's been some concerns with who's holding the keys and how's that going to work. And the BitGo is working with BIT Global. Has to do with the individuals, the CEO Justin Sun and Tron. People have said that in the past he hasn't been too transparent with some other things. I'm not going to get into all of that, but there have been some concerns with the transfer of custodianship and what that means and whether or not it being in the hands of this individual or company is a good thing or not. I don't really have a view on that. Coinbase is issuing and is the custodian for the 1-to-1. So if you've got the wrapped, let's call it the cbBTC, they call it the Coinbase BTC, that is 1-to-1 with Bitcoin that Coinbase will hold as the custodian. And people are going to balk and say, well, they're now the centralized. Well, yeah, someone has to hold it. You can look on chain and do your own verification, or someone can, of the proof of reserves. I'm guessing as time goes on, they'll probably have it more real time. But Coinbase, if you're based in the US or not, Coinbase is a US based company. And therefore, I'm assuming it may have more regulations. And as a US company, it has more regulatory reporting requirements. So I'm really not concerned with how that's going to move forward. We have to believe that every day things are changing so fast. So why am I bringing all of this up? Because what I think is so powerful is, as I've said, I'm a proponent of debanking, and I'm doing that myself with Ethereum. I've been wanting to use Bitcoin, but I never really wanted to use the WBTC. I don't know why. I just felt a little weird about it. Some custodian, I don't really know where they are. I'm not sure what country it is. I'm not sure who's got all the keys. I know it's on chain and you can find the information, but my gut just said, don't do it for now. Anyway, what I think is real interesting about the Coinbase version, it's a US-based company. That makes me feel a little better because of regulatory requirements and reporting requirements and that sort of thing. Okay, so first, before we get into where it's being used, it'll probably end up everywhere. But here's how it works, and this is what I think is so powerful. When a Coinbase user sends their Bitcoin from Coinbase to an address on Base or Ethereum, the Bitcoin will automatically be converted 1-to-1. They do the conversion for you automatically. You don't have to deal with these liquidity pools and all that stuff, to cbBTC. When the users receive cbBTC in their Coinbase accounts, it will be converted 1-to-1 back to Bitcoin. So you merely send it off onto an address on Base, and it just does the automatic conversion for you, and it appears as the cbBTC, which you can now use in any of these DeFi protocols. And then when you send it back, it's going to be automatically converted back to Bitcoin. I think that's valuable. I think that's so valuable that I'm now going to start using that as part of my debanking and put some of that Bitcoin in as leverage as well if I need it. And here you can see, I'll put a link to this article, but they've got, or you can just do Coinbase, look it up, Coinbase and cbBTC. Here are the current dexes that it's on, of course, Aerodrome, Curve, whatever, lending apps, Aave, Compound, Yield Vaults, all these different places. So what's interesting is that it's issued by Coinbase, and Coinbase has an astronomical number of users, and they haven't really even pushed their base network all that much, which now they will. And this is good things for those for Aerodrome, because if you own Aerodrome like I do, I'm a big proponent. I think it's just going to grow even more and more. So now I'm more comfortable using Bitcoin on a lending protocol and part of my debanking structure. And I think this is only going to make things easier. And if you can take your simple to use interface app that Coinbase has, and you can now, as you just send the Bitcoin off, have it automatically wrapped so it can be used or converted to cbBTC. I got to stop saying wrapped because that's different. That's WBTC. It automatically goes to cbBTC, and you can now use it in like a lending protocol or a yield protocol or whatever. And then when you send it back, the conversion's done for you. Okay. You now made it really simple to use. It's again, yet another way that Coinbase is going to help increase the number of users, particularly those that aren't that technical and they don't want to deal with wallets and they're confused about some of this stuff. The easier you can make it, and that was really smart. That one step that does an automatic conversion on its way out and an automatic conversion on the way back, I think is just going to make it even more usable and means even more people will start utilizing it. I myself will as well now, and therefore I'll use the Bitcoin as well as Ethereum as part of my debanking. So that was it for today. I didn't want to get too much into different coins because we're waiting for the Fed announcement just to see what happens. It's September, things are up, things are down. But to me, this is very exciting, and I think there's a lot more that's going to come out that's going to make debanking even easier and easier. I'll put links to my debanking videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto and debank and get off the dollar. Take care.